Artificial intelligence will have a huge impact on the economy, on business, and on people's lives. And business leaders need to understand those changes, not just in the technology, but what it means for the overall economy, workforce, consumer behavior. I'm Dr. Bill Connerly. I connect the dots between the economy and business. This is the first video about artificial intelligence and what it means for the economy. And to get at that question, I am addressing what's different. It's 2023 as I record this. We've been hearing about artificial intelligence for a long time. You may have heard about the book, The Singularity is Near, published in 2005, saying that we were close to a major turning point. Well, maybe we are closer now than we were back in 2005. The purpose of this video is to highlight what has changed very recently, because the future is not going to be just another step in the same direction we've been taking. The first difference between now and back in the old days is natural language processing. So when we communicate with ChatGPT, we do not use its language, we use our language. We use regular English, French, German, whatever language you speak. And ChatGPT understands us. You might be able to throw an unusual word out that it does not understand, but mostly anything we say or write, ChatGPT can understand. The second significant difference is that AI will remember recent conversations. So I asked ChatGPT, what's a good strategy for businesses that are anticipating a recession? And ChatGPT gave me maybe 5 or 6 suggested tips for businesses heading into a recession. And then I said, hey, that second point that you made, would you please elaborate on it? You don't have to say please, but it's an old habit of mine, thanks to mom and dad. But when I said that second point you made, please elaborate, ChatGPT knew what its second point was. And that allows us to have more of a conversation, a big step up over some of the artificial intelligence interfaces we've had so far. ChatGPT can summarize or elaborate. So you could take notes or receive an article, throw it into ChatGPT and say, hey, can you give me a summary of this, a 1-paragraph summary? Or can you rewrite this so that a 5th grader could understand it? Or can you give me 5 bullet points of the key takeaways from this? You can also feed it something like one takeaway and say, would you please elaborate on that? For business purposes, there are 2 differences about today's artificial intelligence that are really, really significant. And the first is fine-tuning for business applications. So without going too far into the weeds, the large artificial intelligence models, we call them large language models, such as ChatGPT, Google's Bard, or Anthropic's Claude. They are trained on a huge amount of data. It takes a lot of computing power to do it. It's a very expensive process. And then that training can be fine-tuned with company-specific information. So let's say, just as an example, you're a washing machine company, and you have people calling saying, hey, I've got a problem with my washing machine. You've been recording those customer service calls for years. You know, the little bit on this call may be monitored for quality and training purposes. So the company has a database of past calls, answers, conversations that can be thrown into the AI system so that it is fine-tuned for the kinds of discussions that people have about their washing machine, the language they use. That is the first big change. And then the second big change is the AI can be connected to other applications, apps, APIs, application programming interfaces. So the ChatGPT or whatever AI system you're using can be connected to a business's customer relationship management software, its billing system, its email system. And we are starting to get apps where the AI talks to you, and then the AI connects to other applications you have, such as your email, your calendar. And in a business context, it could be a wide range of business functions. So that is leading right now, as we talk, to a huge increase in the number of applications that are using AIs and are going to make life much easier. The final difference that I want to emphasize is the speed of change has accelerated in the last few years. So the first version of ChatGPT, the latest is, as I speak, is ChatGPT 4. The first one came out 5 years ago. It was fairly good for its day, but it looks pretty dated now. But just in the last 2 or 3 years, there's been huge increase in the capabilities of the artificial intelligence models. This change will not be without challenges. So right now, the AI makes false assertions. It just makes stuff up. Data security is an issue. If you use company data in a prompt to the AI, you might worry about where that data is going, and is the AI system that you use going to use that information, maybe share sensitive customer information or intellectual property. There will be different ways of working for people to take best advantage, and we humans don't always accommodate changes in work very well. There will be legal issues and regulatory issues to be overcome, so it's not going to be all a bed of roses. The AI is very powerful. Let me give you a hint of what I did in the article on which this video is based. It appears in Forbes. I took the draft and asked ChatGPT to find outright errors. It said there were none. Then I asked, where should I elaborate or clarify things that might be unclear or confusing? It gave some suggestions, some of which I took, some of which I didn't. Then I took the resulting draft and ran it by a human being who's an expert in AI. And he said, oh, here's a point that's really important. You might want to increase the emphasis. And then here's another related topic you may want to add to the article. So the AI is like a human being that you bounce ideas off of. Back when we were in offices and we had colleagues, somebody might walk down the hall and I would say, hey, Bob, I'm working on something. Tell me what you think about this issue. And we'd have a conversation. Well, today you can have it. It's not quite as interesting as my friend Bob, but it's very useful to brainstorm, kick around ideas, see what you might be missing or what you might be wrong about. Artificial intelligence is going to have a huge impact on business and the economy. You'll want to follow my future articles. You will find my articles on Forbes.com, and you can be notified of my future work by following me on LinkedIn or Twitter, or by subscribing to my monthly newsletter, which is a 60-second update on what's happening in the economy and also includes a list of my recent articles and videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Bill Connerly, connecting the dots between the economy and business.